Hi everyone, it's Annie from Phoenix Healing. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, and I was guided to do a reading for the collective for the day and the week ahead. I was not able to do it yesterday on Sunday, but the card deck that I'm using is Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette, and 3 cards actually flew out and flipped over. And what I find interesting is look at the numbers. The first one is 49, the second one is 9, and the last one is 31. But 31, 3 plus 1 numerology is 4. So it's just interesting that these numbers are repeating themselves: 4, 9, 9, and 4. So as a numerologist, that definitely caught my attention. But there's 3 messages for this week ahead for the collective. The first one is opposition, nature spirits. Concession, fairness, democracy, neutrality. Your nature spirits remind you that no one is entirely good or bad. Every person has their own version of reality, which may not necessarily agree with yours. Instead of arguing or feeling wronged by someone who refuses to see your point of view, open your mind and consider theirs. See the balance of light and shadow, rigidity and flexibility, and receptivity and hostility in all people, including yourself. Although it's easy to feel indignant and defensive toward the one who opposes you, the truth is that no one is trying to harm you. Instead, your detractor simply supports their own interests and priorities, which are different than yours, and different from yours too. Rather than reacting emotionally where argument, attack, or invalidation, seek to understand your opponent instead. Be mindful not to be overly self-centered or self-protective. Be fair-minded and relax your stance. Recognize their humanity and not just the part that opposes you. For example, what are your opponent's priorities? What are their needs? What might they fear in you? The standoff between you can be softened if you consider the motives as well as your own. Gain insight into your common interests. From there, you can move ahead. Compromise. Let your higher self communicate with your opponent's higher self rather than antagonize their ego with combativeness. Allow your nature spirits to ease the tension between you. They will cool the hostile air and calm the ground under your feet so you both feel more stable and secure. There is an acceptable solution to this impasse if you ease your position and lighten your heart. Your nature spirit's message to you: accept that your interests are no more or less important than those of people around you, so the only way to achieve resolution is through understanding and compromise. The second message is number 9, Epiphany, inspiration, breakthrough, revelation, divine guidance. Congratulations, you're finally getting out of your head and connecting more directly with your divine spirit. The flow of communication between your higher self and your conscious mind is strengthening daily, allowing you to fully sense this ongoing stream of divine guidance that is available to you. As your connection with your higher self deepens, answers will suddenly drop into your consciousness like gifts from above. Aha moments will appear with greater frequency, light bulbs switching on in your head. You'll find yourself consistently in the right place at the right time, showered with delightful support. Your higher self is also encouraging you to develop more spontaneity. I can't say that word. Flow with life rather than fight against it. Trust your inner guidance right now. Allow yourself to be gently led by your higher self rather than tormented by your fear-mongering ego. Remain in constant dialogue with your higher self and ask for help in overriding any internal resistance that may be preventing you from staying on your true path. You are on your way. Your higher self's message to you: listen to me and follow. And the third card is number 31, Shadow. Anger, vengeance, violation, spite. Although no one likes to admit it, we all have our dark shadows and dark sides, those less than flattering facets of our personality that take delight in abusing and shaming others and wielding power in the most unfair ways. Whether it's a condescending remark to the slow-moving grocery bagger at the supermarket, the aggressive hand gesture directed toward the meandering driver on the road, or the belittling comment made to your annoying friend, many of us are guilty of hurting or deriding others at times. Your divine healers are present now to help you confront your shadow and to lovingly make you aware that it's contempt for yourself and your vulnerability that fuels such hostility and misbehavior towards others. These gentle but powerful higher forces surround you in love and urge you to accept and embrace your weaker aspects rather than harshly reject yourself by attacking those aspects in others. Ease up and be more tolerant of and compassionate toward yourself. If you do, these shadow behaviors will give way to light and healing. Your healer guides message to you: accept your limitations with grace and let others in. Now, what I find interesting is that these cards obviously align so much with each other, especially with given opposition even first was talking about, becoming more of their higher self and, just having more compassion with others, especially those who don't necessarily agree with your views. And then, of course, like working with like the shadow side and healing with that and recognizing the shadow side and others. These definitely go hand in hand with each other for the reading for this week ahead, but also just the energy that's been surrounding lately, especially this month of September and what has been transpiring. This is definitely a message too that aligns very much so with even the energy that had and was invoked last night, especially with the new moon in Virgo, and embracing new beginnings, like letting go of things that we no longer need to surround ourselves with, and just really embracing that more true or authentic path. And especially too with like the partial solar eclipse too, because all eclipses bring these immense changes and these energies that can be somewhat hostile and violent and chaotic. So it's really like working with these energies, but also working with the best version of yourself that you can do, especially when these energies combine. Because if you use if you create more goodness and more positivity and more high vibration, it's a little harder for things to creep their way in, I guess you can say. But also you can only do your best as well, and sometimes you find yourself in unpleasant situations, but the truth is you just have to be true to yourself in those moments and just operate from a place of good and from your heart space. I definitely feel especially with things going on just in the world, especially again with the opposing sides of politics and everything, it really is, I really feel the energy is like, it doesn't matter what side you're on, you can't be violent towards the other for a different opinion. You can't attack someone for a different opinion. And especially with everything that's going on too, I will say this because I said this before too, America has the first, the amendment of, freedom of speech, and Canada even has freedom of expression. Yeah, you do have right to talk about stuff, but you don't have the right to talk about harming or, violent, angry statements, because those are considered hate crimes. And, you don't want violence to happen to anyone. And I really feel this is like really challenging people. Think outside your political avenues. Think outside that box. Think of yourself as a human and a soul, as who you are in this lifetime, right here, right now, on this earth. How are you operating? Can you have conversations? Can you agree to disagree without thinking anything violent or harmful or wishing that on someone who thinks differently than you? I think this is absolutely, with everything that's been going on, this is like absolutely challenging people and really, really putting it out there, like, who are you going to dictate how you're going to live your life? You're going to let society and mainstream media and celebrities and all this crap, people who don't even know you, influence you? Or you're going to let your heart and the universe and God and angels and spirit and the higher realms like align you to your true self and be in that space of heart and love and light and making the difference for the world, and being inspired to change, and also in the midst of that to inspire others, because the only way you make change is when there's love and light in place. And coming from that positive, peaceful aspect. Nothing changes coming from bad or violent things. Like, you have to be a good person in this lifetime. You have to be a good soul. You have to vibrate with love and light. So I hope that these messages have been helpful, have been resonating, and helping people really get more in tune with their higher self and letting go of any hate, anything that's in them that needs to be ripped out of their divine vessel. Because you cannot move forward with hate in your heart. You can only move forward with love. So, with that said, I hope everyone has a wonderful week ahead. If you're interested in your own personal reading or numerology reading or any other services that I offer, I invite you to visit my website at phoenixhealing.com or click the link in the bio wherever you are watching this video. So please, everyone, take good care of themselves. We are almost out of September, and we'll be on to a brand new month. But, we'll be out of this 9 world year soon as well. So please, everyone, take really good care of yourselves this week, and just especially lead with your heart. Turn things off, and just really feel from your heart. So with that said, please take care, everyone. I will see you guys soon. Bye.